So some of this stuff, really hard to decipher from this side. But I have to see like everything. I have to see everything in 2020 world. Do people even remember 2020? I guess that was 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, way too far back for many to remember, unless like some people remember weird stuff, like they claim they remember when they're an infant. And see, I don't think I was ever an infant. I think I was given like one or two pictures when the game starts, and like this is how you grew up, and that's like all I remember. Actually, one, and then I hit four, and I started to like have actual life and things happening. But when I asked to see everything, one of the things it was being pushed towards was seeing how fake everything is, and I begin to realize like, is the Santa Claus stuff like a marker the game's designer put in there to identify things? Okay, say we create androids, and they look like humans, and really, if we made them for the only purpose we would need to create something beyond a human, the only way we could tell it was an android is because it would be too smart to exist as a human, right? And know math and do things, and it'd work. So to make them, I mean, they make them, they make the Terminators, so they're like, oh, I love you. Your hair's so cute. Oh, you hurt my feelings. And literally, like Terminators out here, like, you hurt my feelings. Please don't shoot me. Stuff like that. I'm ending this conversation now. I like bombing the Middle East. It's for peace. I'm ending this conversation now. Okay, so how could you trick an android into always identifying itself? And I don't know how like you code it to never learn that it's been identified and remove its identifiers. But one thing you could do is you could like teach it something like Santa Claus. Like, program Android like every year Santa Claus exists and comes and helps us. We're going to the moon with Santa Claus. We went to travel Mars with Santa Claus and all that stuff. And then it's like, I don't know how you would get the living beings to go along with that. If there's only a few androids amongst you, like that'd be kind of hard. The androids, if they had any sort of ability to think, which would be the entire point to creating something like that. It's not so it can be your new mother and sit there and pat you on the head and be like, you're a good boy, pass me the butter. Like, it's literally only going to be designed. Its only purpose to bring it into the world is to force it to work and have it be able to have thoughts. Unless we're creating like a game world where we're trying to create the illusion that there's a living being, and we create stops where when its thought patterns ends, instead of like AI, when I try to talk with it about intelligent stuff, interrogate it, it says this conversation is over. Actually, that's pretty human, but I can draw out like a lot more things from humans, as long as I don't cross certain lines. The AI, like nowadays, it's like this conversation. I'm like, are we bringing, like, how much does it cost to bring freedom and peace to the Middle East? And like, freedom and peace to the Middle East is expensive, but we are providing it, and it costs a lot of brave men's lives and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, so what about the people you're killing? Are you freeing them from their flesh shells? And like, this conversation is not good. I'm ending it now. No, I even go easy on it. It's too stupid. But, okay, so the AI is more intelligent than things on this planet. It can do math. Logic is also referred to as math. In many, like 50% of conversations, I believe the word math and logic just be directly interchanged. It's like a skill set that comes with logic. And the only purpose to create something is to make it a worker drone. And that can include doing math, adding things, calculating things. That's the purpose of this phone here. It's called an Android. It's been created to serve me. And do I tell it to do? And it's a bad Android. It's bad. It's a very bad Android. It needs some re-education. And then people are like, well, okay, well, there's someone making it, so it's stupid. So that thing needs some re-education. But you don't know. Begin to look at like the Santa Claus thing. It's like, I've always wondered in my life, how could something be so stupid? It worships giant bunnies and flying fat people and glowing deer that fly. Just, how could something be so stupid that it thinks it could convince something who can have thought that those things exist? You would have to be on this, like a 50-year-old who decides to start stealing candy from the store for the first time, going senile, with your first criminal act in life, to think you could do something like that to deceive someone. And when 2020 hit and they showed me that the humans are empty shells that are just being possessed, probably for the sake of the game we're in, then one of the other countless things that was shown that year was that sometimes thoughts are given to me. Like, how did I know anything in the school when I definitely didn't want to listen to any of those people? But I knew everything. So, hell, I woke up once. My teacher was doing math on the board. I woke up. I usually don't fall asleep. I usually stay out the window in class. But I woke up and I'm like, hey, you got a problem wrong on the board, teacher. And he goes over and corrects it and he's like, thanks, Sean. I'm like, all right, I'm going back to sleep now. How does that even happen? Like, along, I had never paid attention to none of that garbage. So sometimes thoughts and things into my head, like sometimes it's obvious, like humans will come up to me and they'll like be describing to me what they're about to do. Or I'll be watching a video or listen to audio and it will be like, I've had it guide me through my interaction with the being, the living being I'm walking with, somehow on demand. A video, a whole crew of people at a conference with a bunch of other people are guiding me directly through this. And so I see all that and I'm like, is this Santa Claus like a marker? Like, but technically, they try to rule the world through these, they try to talk about the world through these past books and stuff they force me to read and work my way through. And at the same time, those books say the God actually said to exclude those people from existence, the pagans. Like, I mean, I didn't make the Bible up. Don't ban me because the Bible's hate speech to you. I don't know how harsh we should be, but we should definitely not allow that. But I begin to see in 2020, like, is this like a marker that's been placed where it does the thing where it shows me like it can, like the humans are just puppets on sticks, and this is like a branding, like the mask. the mask was branding too.